Naughty Dog, I guess the manufacturer of all this nonsense, and Sony and their parent company, and the game The Last of Us 2 has caught me by surprise. And it was not necessarily, it's a woke company. It went woke and they're about to go broke. Maybe. So I was watching Geeks and Gamers last night, and Jeremy, who runs it pretty much, it was a live stream, and supposedly it was taken down. Here we can see this right here. It says, just struck me again while I'm live. Naughty Dog strikes down videos to silence us. Last of Us 2, Naughty Dog is currently striking down videos of people who have been critical of The Last of Us 2. I mean, that's just, whatever you're doing, this is not how to do it. Now, obviously, there are copyright concerns here, possibly, because of who leaked it, but it's already out there. It's like closing the barn door when the horses have already left. What's the point? Point is that this had been happening not only to him, but Eric July, which is Young Ripa, a bunch of other different people who just reacted to this. And apparently you can't react to it. There's Eric July right there. It begs the question, do these people not know what the Streisand effect is? Here's the Streisand effect. It's a social phenomenon that occurs when you attempt to hide, remove, or censor information that has the unintended consequence of further publicizing that information, often via the internet. Often. 99% of the time. It is named after the American entertainer Barbra Streisand, whose attempt to suppress photographs of her residence in Malibu, California, inadvertently drew further attention to it in 2003. Attempts to suppress information are often made through the cease and desist letters and copyright strikes by nefarious ne'er-do-wells on YouTube. But instead of being suppressed, the information receives extensive publicity as well as media extension, such as videos and spoof songs, which can be mirrored on the internet or distributed on file sharing networks. I'm going to come back to this right here in my conclusion, but let's continue on. So we see what's going on here. The more they try to stifle people even talking about it, what was the whole deal? It was like, I don't know anything other than what's been reported about Last of Us 2. Now, I've never played the game myself, Last of Us. Never have even researched it. Don't even know what it's about. I think it's a zombie something sort of game. Don't know. The point is that every time these stupid, idiotic companies get mad and get their panties in a wad, they try to do this stuff. And what happens? They use YouTube's archaic system to flag stuff. As a matter of fact, I had a video 2 days ago, like day 45. It was about the UFOs, and Joe Rogan and Tim Pool were on there. And I was just reacting to it. I was just talking about it. You know, I think one of the clips was like 36 seconds long. But for me to actually, I guess, delve into it, I had to play it that long. And so they copyright flagged it. It wasn't a strike, but it was kind of like, hey, you need to remove this. So I fought it, and one of my first claims I won. Yay. But I wasn't stealing it. I was actually providing commentary. I was providing something that transformed that work. And this is what they're doing. Matter of fact, Jeremy, was on Geeks and Gamers. He wasn't even talking about the plot. He was talking about the reaction. Neil Kaufman, or he called him Neil Cuckman. So the interesting thing here is that he was just talking about it. He wasn't showing clips. He wasn't showing background information of it, but which would be technically okay. However, their reaction to this is to silence dissenting opinions and voices. You know, you done messed up. That's the only thing you can say. Let's see. The hate is not being spread wide enough here. Correct. That's my point here. It's Sony. They own Naughty Dog. The strikes are by a company directly representing SIE. If it was ND going rogue, the story is big enough, they would have stopped it by now. This is Sony directly. Yep. Exactly. See, most of the blame is being leveled at Neil Kaufman and Naughty Dog, which then I think was a couple days ago. They went on, I think, Instagram or something like that and said some Kurt Cobain clip saying that if you're a racist, sexist, homophobe, then we don't want your money. It's like, that has nothing to do. I think some of the programmers of that company were mad because they weren't getting paid enough, so they released some of that information out. And Anita Sarkeesian got involved in this somehow. It's getting crazy. Interestingly enough, a lot of this problem is that these companies are trying to go woke when the woke program, 9 times out of 10, won't make you any money. Now, it worked for Nike because they're a multi-billion-dollar national corporation, so they can take a lick and then wait for it to pan out, and they can reap the benefits of Colin Kaepernick and all that bullcrap. But this particular instance, they made the game to where, I guess the protagonist apparently is some fundamentalist Christians or something like that, and they don't like trans people in the apocalypse, which makes zero sense. And I don't even know if I'm getting that correctly. And I guess you can play that character. It's a trans man that's now a woman. Whatever, I don't know. The interesting thing here is how they're reacting to it. This is not how to do it. If you would have just shut your mouth, this stuff would have went away. But you got mad. And you started attracting attention to yourself. Case in point is another video I did, I think, last week about Suzy Liu and her attracting too much attention to herself. When you attract too much attention to yourself, people shine the light on you and go, hey, what's going on here? What are you doing? Violating copyright. Suzy Liu. And I think most of her videos were taken down because of that. Again, when you attract unwanted attention to yourself, you better be squeaky frickin' clean. Because if you're not, all your chickens will come home to roost. And that's exactly what's going on here. Especially with the Streisand effect. Let's see, please watch The Quartering. I think he got hit too for his take on the copyright strike against Geek and Gamers. Naughty Dog is totally melting down. That was the video I think that was taken. This is a good one here too. I'm not doing anything until I talk to my lawyer about this in the morning. I showed no images, gave no specifics about The Last of Us Part 2, yet my stream was taken down and I was issued a copyright strike on a clean channel. Tag people that you think can highlight this story. This is probably a rumor and it's Reddit, of course, all places, but this could be why they're so gung-ho on censorship. It says, everyone please read this repost. A source that works at Naughty Dog revealed recently why the leaks happened. The reason was indeed a pay dispute, but that's not the whole story. Hundreds of furloughed staff had approached Naughty Dog to ask for an advance on the post-release bonus they are contractually obligated to receive. And here's the interesting point here. A common industry practice is to underpay workers during the production and promise them huge bonuses 6 months after the games are released, especially a title like this that's supposed to be a billion-dollar product. The better the game sells, the higher the bonus. Some employees had already made plans for the bonus, plan a wedding, buy a house, send kids to college, etc. When the game was delayed indefinitely, all those plans went out the window. Some employees were hoping to use these bonus to weather the coronavirus storm and provide for their families. Naughty Dog flat out refused the request to advance them even a portion of their future bonus. The insider says the employee was told that his contract stated he would be paid out 6 months after the game released, or not at all. Yeah, I can imagine there's some disgruntled people there. The employee was threatened with termination for making the request. The studio was worried more employees would demand their bonuses now if they gave this one employee his bonus early. To add insult to injury, senior staff, including Neil Druckmann, that's his name, asked for and received their bonuses early. Can't imagine why people are pissed, especially working there. And especially Sony's a billion-dollar company, and they can't... See, if they do it for them, then they got to do it for everyone. I get that, but that's kind of a dick move. This pissed off the majority of the employees at Naughty Dog. The leaks were a way of forcing the studio to release the game sooner than later. The leaker is risking career and financial ruin so that his fellow abused workers can then get their piece of the pie a lot sooner. Studio rumor put the expected release date around the holidays before the leaks. This means the staff wouldn't receive their bonuses until May 2021. Please spread the word as quickly as humanly possible. Thank you. And that was from TommyKnocker_316. Interesting. Now, again, I can look at it from both sides here. I understand why Sony and Naughty Dog didn't want to go down this road, because if they would give them their money early or advance, then, other companies within Sony would possibly try to do the same thing. But you see, we're in a sort of unprecedented times to where people are not really working, and if they're getting paid less than they would if they were working on this project, I get it. It's just, it's amazing that their way of going about this is wrong. So they're not only pissed off their employees, but they also pissed off all the fans. Now, before I end this, I want to point out that when I talked about here in the Streisand effect were the file sharing networks, I'm not going to buy this game flat out. I had no intention to buy this game. It just steals my resolve not to do it even more, I guess, if that's even possible. You're at 100%. Can you go 105? I don't know, but I'm going to go 105. I'm not going to buy this game. However, there are ways... How do I put this? There are ways of protesting Sony. Just saying. And if you feel that's necessary, more power to do. I'm not saying to do it. I'm not requesting you to do it. I'm not even saying it's a good idea. Whatever your pocketbook can hold on or hold to, that's what you should do. But one way to get these companies to bend the knee to us is to put them in check, is to hit them at their bottom dollar. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, it's going to affect the Naughty Dog and their employees. And yes and no. This is going to affect Sony and make sure that they put out products that we actually, as consumers, want to buy or want to consume. A lot of what Sony puts out is utter garbage. Now, again, I have to stress this. I haven't played The Last of Us Part 1. I didn't even know this Part 2 was coming out until a couple of days ago. And I heard that it's actually a TV show, I think on HBO now, and it's gone woke AF. Of course it did, because these companies keep thinking that, hey, if I go woke, I can't possibly go broke. Oh, well, I went broke. Exactly, that's what happens. You go woke, you're going to get broke. But in conclusion, again, I'm not showing any specifics. All I'm doing is talking about it. I double dog dare Naughty Dog and Sony to issue a copyright claim on this video. All I'm doing is talking about it. I'm talking about the outrage that they're doing. I'm talking about the abuse, what they're doing, their DMCA abuse. This is exactly what it is. This is not how this copyright system was intended to use it, but they use it to punish people who dare talk about their product, albeit how about garbage it is. So that's it. This was day 47. I'll see you on day 48.